bring up the map veto and continue talking, because where we play is going to be a pretty important distinction here between these two teams. EG is quite a large map pool, probably the largest in North America. Luminosity being relatively new, they might not be as strong when it comes to that kind of thing.
I think we're to the coastline. Where is your next man going to go? Could be, okay, it's going to be Bank. So that we got rid of 2 very open maps for Luminosity. For the long-range fights, they just don't seem to want to have any of it, and we'll go to Villa. Already seen it today, but here's the second time.
Villa's not a bad map for EG. Just at face value, I mean, yeah, Luminosity's not terrible on Villa either, but just at how much we know that these teams play,
I mean, so
how
far,
defender-sided it is, you can't really do the same kind of, I want to say, aggressive stuff that we can see from Luminosity on other maps.
neither of these teams have played it so far this season.
I would still give the edge to EG, but this is very surprising. Luminosity have appeared to be giant killers, and
yeah,
would you look at them, 51, 43, and 6%. That is as close as you're going to get. EG just narrowly edging out Luminosity, and I wonder if people knew that Gotcha was subbing in and whether that affected their vote at all. Because it's not that Gotcha's bad. Gotcha is a pro league level player. He's great at what he does, and he could easily fit on every single team in pro league, but he's not one of the starting members. And Geo is one of probably the best players in North America. So you got big shoes to fill. Anywho, let's go to Italy. Why don't we? We'll start off our third match of the day. And before we get in, a big shout out to manager and photographer for Evil Geniuses, Peter, who was nominated for Esports Photographer of the Year just about an hour or so ago. I saw it while we were on break, and huge congratulations to Peter. Not to take anything away from all the other nominees, because I know that I believe Charles from G2 is nominated for either photographer or videographer as well. But you want to pay credit to Peter. If you've been involved in the scene at all, you've definitely seen pictures of his. He broke out at DreamHack Austin, coming and basically volunteering his time to take photos of all of the teams that were there competing, many of them getting photos on land for the very first time ever. And he's been rewarded now as manager of EG. It's been a long climb, and he's definitely very deserving of that nomination. So congratulations, Peter.
So, ban phase coming to a conclusion here. Pulse is going to be gone. Pulse is a very, very potent operator on Villa especially. He's good everywhere, sure, in that he can take you through the walls, but on Villa he tends to be much more potent because you have that third floor that nobody ever really, sentries on the attack to use as a get-out-of-jail-free card. You can just retreat downstairs whenever you really want, and you can go back to the site from a different rotation. A lot of, ease to the roam, and that makes it so Pulse is so very powerful. Getting rid of him is going to probably be a smart call there for anybody, to be honest, if you just don't want to deal with it. It's funny that it's EG. I'm sure that EG are used to the Pulse getting banned against them, but it's just something that I guess they don't want to have to deal with no matter what. Could be the right call, who knows?
Attackers need to locate
now,
and defuse as
how
many
much
bombs as they can.
Pulse has Troy been playing recently? Because I feel like he's been flexed onto a lot of other operators. He's been playing Vigil, actually, quite a bit, if I remember correctly. Vigil's been a big operator of his. He's even playing Smoke.
I don't think...
And Milan?
I don't think that it's necessarily one of Troy's big heavy hitters anymore, but it is something that we know he could still bring out.
I mean, they have the skin on it, for crying out loud.
Exactly, so it wouldn't be too crazy. Anyway, banning it is, I think, just, they don't want to deal with clearing out downstairs as much, which makes sense. Villa's a big map, takes a long time to clear out things. At least if you want to be thorough. Some teams will try to do it a little bit haphazardly.
I mean, we know that Luminosity are very strong when you've got Doodle playing Pulse. We've seen this on Border before. And they can flex onto a Valkyrie when they need to, but Pulse is very much in the wheelhouse of Luminosity. And because of this, it's smart for you to not bother using an operator that you know is a more important tool for your opponents. And well, EG is investing extremely heavily downstairs. Canadian was breaking a bunch of different windows, and well, he actually had a run-out potential there with another member on the other side of it. It actually looked like the silhouette of Hyena. It could have possibly been Rexon. Rexon is, of course, having a pretty good season so far, and he's impressed an awful lot of folks with his play.
Yeah. He's looking for the pest here, but not able to find it just yet. It actually was not a placed Claymore there from the Thatcher, which is interesting. Doodle's going to get the first pick there onto the substitute. That is the coach of EG. Gotcha! And as he is felled, Evil Geniuses find themselves a man down. Almost another kill there for Doodle, but he narrowly misses the shot. And Young is trying to put some shots of his own onto the feet of Doodle. He will be successful in doing some damage at the very least. But Tomas going to get another one. And Luminosity already up 2 men halfway through the round. Not even halfway through the round.
We've said many, many times, oh, what a great bait that was to draw out the Nomad. And Pixel, who's down, and Canadian on the runaway will also shut down Doodle. That's 2 for 1, and Pixel will need to be retrieved by Rexon. They don't really know if there's anybody lurking about. We'll pick up the Nomad and get her back in action.
Wow.
There's a lot that's said about this kind of recklessness and aggressiveness that has been the kryptonite of EG before. This level of play that you can see from LG matches up quite effectively to it. But Evil Geniuses have worked really hard to shake that out of their minds and then continue going from there. In this case, they seem to be quite frustrated with their entry. They haven't really been able to accomplish all that much as LG are still committed downstairs. But there you go. Young peaks and Hyena pays him well.
I think that EG had this round well in hand until Young got picked off there. That's the big tricky bit, because now we've got, yes, still a potential win here for EG, but it's all after the fact that Luminosity are also lit up. You know, 3 players on 1 bullet for the Jaeger, that's pretty juicy if you're EG, despite having a man disadvantage. Though now it's the same for Evil Geniuses, as Neckroks is the only one with more than 1 bullet's worth of HP, and he misses an opportunity in the hallway, but seizes another, and there you go. It's finished off as Rexon gets the TK. Neckroks on an absolute tear. 3 technical kills on the west hallway, and he's going to deny Rexon pushing in to get the refrags with only 11 seconds left. Neckroks has just single-handedly salvaged this round.
This is an old tweet from Pojo Man who says that, I swear with Smoke Shotgun, the more you believe in it, the better it will do. And boy, oh boy, does Neckroks often believe in that one.
Yeah, he delivered.
It was very well played. And I know that you said that Young going down was a much bigger blow to them, but I think still having the smoke up ended up being their saving grace.
Certainly.
Because you didn't have the hard destructive capabilities that you needed to open up a big enough area to get into the site, which is what forced Luminosity to have to go through the much narrower doorways. And when you're trying to go through the singular door, you know, there's a shotgun waiting on the other side of it. You're going to take enough damage from that smoke no matter where you are, just simply because of the way that the smoke, you know, plumes outwards. Very tough for Luminosity to do anything.
At the same time, I think we can both agree that, I mean, you were talking about recklessness and aggressiveness. I think we can both agree that if Neckroks had been punished on that push, then that would have been
probably
a Luminosity round.
Canadian had 1 HP.
Yeah, so that was a very risky play for Neckroks, but it worked out, and that's, I suppose, all that matters in the end. And well calculated at that, or he managed to check the right angles at the right moment. Now, Luminosity going to have to attack onto a trophy, or actually rather, a kitchen defense, but it's a trophy setup. Quite interesting here from Evil Geniuses, as they are going to try and hold from above, and they're investing a lot up here. Now, top 4 roam is common on a kitchen defense, but primarily to delay. It seems as though Evil Geniuses are going to try and hold firm on the top floor. Not the craziest thing, just, well, a little different, I suppose. It seems like they're using somewhat of a mentality of the new cafe. You see a lot of teams when they're defending middle floor sites, holding the top floor outright. And that seems to be what they're trying to, again, employ here. Canadian only going to need a little bit of damage there from the nades of Wild Doodle.
It was bad timing, and there was no follow-up from LG, so you completely lose 1 burst to the XKROS, and well, there goes another Liquid, or not Liquid, Luminosity. I saw the LG and the Liquid Charm, and I was like, wait, what team is this? Luminosity are just getting beaten every step of the way, as there's 2 from EG. They managed to get 1 back, but Hyena shuts down Canadian. And now down goes Doodle as well. I don't know what it is, but Luminosity just look lost at most different ways into this site.
I don't think Luminosity look lost. I think that Evil Geniuses are just doing a great job of punishing Luminosity for every push they go for. This is a great cover from Rexon, but it's not going to be for all of the angles. He can't help that. It's not his fault. There's just not enough manpower here for Luminosity. And you could see Rexon trying to go for the 1v3 clutch, but he's going to walk into a crossfire, trying to get this frag. There is a player behind him. Potentially, no, actually a rotation, so never mind. Rexon does have a lot of time here, so he doesn't necessarily need to rush himself. It was somewhat of a rush strat from Luminosity early on, but MVK gets the final kill. Rexon goes down, and Evil Geniuses, like I said, great punishment on the entry. Evil Geniuses didn't try to hold the rush from the pantry. They just, well, got pick after pick, and more damage started stacking up from those gas canisters and the like, and Luminosity lost so much manpower they couldn't recover when they went for the plant.
EG is very interestingly doing against Luminosity what often gets done against EG, which is just play with your brain disengaged. Run into fights, play aggressively, peek things that you shouldn't want to peek. And Luminosity's just not ready for it. Rexon has not been as strong of a force as he needs to be on that Twitch. He needs to be the person that's lighting up your opponents and starting off as your primary entry. And for some reason, Rexon keeps finding himself too far back. He's not really in a position to be able to do anything. And you've got the best gun on attack sitting in a 1vx situation, which as an attacker, having the best gun, you can't really find yourself in. So it was an Aviator hold for EG, played very well, though I think if Neckroks gets peaked, you probably end up with Luminosity winning that one.
I mean, who's peaking Neckroks, though? In that round? Nobody.
I mean, was it Young who got 2 really early kills, or was it Gotcha who got 2 really early kills in the last round? He just came in a flurry. It was Canadian?
Yeah, he was playing on Jaeger downstairs, and he did a lot of damage down under.
And I think part of this for EG is, number one, they're preventing Luminosity from getting entry with the Mozzie. Whether it be in the hands of Neckroks or Gotcha, they've done an excellent job of locking down certain places that are common entry points. And because of this, it allows EG to roam on parts of the map where you know Luminosity is likely going to try to strike from because they're being blocked off. And we've said it time and time again. Even if Mozzie doesn't catch your drone, you get an indicator that it's nearby. And instead of going that direction,
you go somewhere else.
You go somewhere else.
And that's some massive delay on information gathering. That's why Mozzie's been such a huge pick for a lot of defensive teams. Is that if he's not cacking drones, he's straight up stopping them dead. He is better than Mute at stopping drones outright. Because you can jump over a Mute Jammer. You cannot jump over a Pest, as far as I know. If you get caught in that radius when it's pre-placed, then it will catch you.
It's not been an early death for either side just yet, and Luminosity is particularly interested in this second floor clear. And because of this, they've locked down a lot of ways for any roaming members of EG to be able to use that second floor to try to get on over towards the site, which, need we remind you, is a library living room site, which you don't see all the time. That mirror window on an unreinforced wall is taken out by 3 buckshots from Doodle. The Skeleton Key will be able to remove a pretty important part of EG's defense there, as Canadian won't be able to utilize that any longer. They'll have to play farther back, and they will also have the disadvantage now of a wall that will be opened up and likely patrolled by the attackers.
Yeah, these lines of sight that LG are able to establish are awesome for them, but at the same time, because Evil Geniuses didn't reinforce it, clearly planned. The mirror window inside of the Art Vault as well is going to support the hold here for EG, and I don't expect this to work out great for LG, to be honest, because again, this is a clear setup. EG wanted the bait to be taken here, and it has been taken.
They baited them in every step of the way. Canadian looked like a freebie, and Doodle couldn't get a grenade to connect, but he can just take the head off a Canadian anyway. Neckroks is there to take out Doodle, so they'll trade them off perfectly. You've still got some play from above as well that's being watched from EG. Rexon finally gets involved in the action, and it's going to be NVK who gets the better of. Neckroks still with that very cheeky angle, looking down on towards the site, and Young sitting on the mirror window. This bodes very well for EG, at least from where they're situated, and if Luminosity can correct this, then they can be able to get in and do some damage. But the bigger worry is just going to be Neckroks above. Rexon is also very low on HP, and Young's still alive. He is ever the difference maker when it comes to these situations. He's also got 2 gas canisters. He's going to need to utilize them at some point. He's got 1 left. He heads for the hills as Gotcha takes out Tomas. And it's Pixel and Rexon to walk on in, but neither hold the diffuser, and with 5 seconds left, Pixel will have to be exposed for just a second. He'll stick the landing, and they'll collapse on him. Nobody's there to watch him, and Pixel is a sitting duck. EG flawless so far, and yes, it's defensive Villa, but boy, are they looking good.
Yeah, this is a really strong Evil Geniuses. So that was a bait strategy from EG, quite clear. They wanted Luminosity to try and push in through Living Room because, I mean, it's obvious as soon as they didn't reinforce the walls. The mirror window, again, just adds a little bit of flavor to that bait and, draws in Luminosity. Now, after Luminosity took the bait, there were a couple different hurdles that they had to jump over to actually push into the site. The first were people just in-sight peeking them. They didn't get past that one very well, though they eventually did. It cost them a lot of manpower. The next one was the mirror window inside of Art Vault. They didn't get past that one at all. And the biggest, I'd say the cherry on top, were the gun vault angles that Neckroks were using on 2 different parts of that take. Neckroks had line of sight onto the wall where the mirror window was placed, the unreinforced one, so he could deny a push in through that wall. He also had, from Gun Vault, a line of sight onto the bike window, as it's often called, or the bike kind of hallway, which was also by Living Room. It's the window right there underneath that balcony. If you vault in there, there's a bike. So the bike hallway. And Neckroks could repel any kind of attack through there. It's a very hard angle to challenge as the attackers. So, like I said, a bait from EG, well executed, and Luminosity just not able to frag their way out of that.
I really feel like this is just an experienced team beating up on an inexperienced team. That's what it's looked like for 3 rounds so far. It strikes me as EG is a team that has seen it all and has really worked hard to shut down aggressive teams that frag well, that maybe don't have the greatest semblance of strategy because they're still newer. And it's not that Luminosity doesn't have strategy. They absolutely do. But they're still a team that is trying to learn to be able to compete with Pro League teams, to be able to beat them consistently, and then furthermore, to maybe expand upon their map pool. Like I said, I feel like we've seen Luminosity play on Villa previously.
I'm sure we have.
I believe it was relegations if we go back a couple months. But, and I'm sure you will check that one, so thank you. But it's funny because right now, every single thing that EG is doing seems to be getting under the skin of Luminosity, and I have not been convinced that Luminosity have been able to figure EG out yet, despite the fact that we are now in round number 4, and we are almost halfway through it. And I don't know. Maybe it just might be that this is the way that Villa tends to work, but Canadian goes for a run out, and Hyena knows it's coming, and he's prepared and ready and waiting, but NVK there gets very aggressive. He pushes all the way up into Study and takes out Hyena. And man, oh man, that is a gutsy play from NVK.
Certainly is, and a good... Well, I mean, he took some damage for it. At the same time, still... and he'll get a double. There you go. All right, 2 for NVK. Gotcha gets down, though, by a nade from Doodle, and he'll be finished off. Well, actually, not finished off just yet. NVK with 3 and 4 for NVK. He wants the ace. He's just been playing in Study and absolutely destroying Luminosity. The last player on Luminosity, Doodle, has managed to down Gotcha, and he was finished off. So there's some work done there, but MVK angling, again, for the ace, playing just inside of Aviator Door on a very off angle, hoping that he's just not going to be checked. And he isn't being checked so far by Doodle, but it's not too late for the buck. And no, he's not even going to try. It's going to be an ace for NVK. 5 in the round. Beautiful Maestro play, and Evil Geniuses are looking absolutely indomitable.
This is proving to be quite fast. I really expected this to be closer so far. Who knows? Maybe when we get to a side swamp, things will happen. Maybe there will be some victories, and there will be some losses, and then there will be some rounds, and then there will be kills, and maybe
that could happen.
Maybe diffuses and some disables.
That could happen. Wow, that's yeah, maybe.
Let me tell you, they didn't just hire me to be in slightly below average face. Okay, that's why.
You're not below average. It's too hard on yourself.
Way below average.
I don't know what the heck he's talking about, guys. Just ignore him. The round coming off of, I think, NVK there, pretty much single-handedly. There's not a whole lot to talk about.
LG just pushed all completely separate, and nobody turned out NVK, and EG is controlling this map every step of the way.
I would say that's a good way to put it. I mean, obviously they are on defense. We always like to stress that because it's Villa, defender-sided, sure. But no. All that aside, this is one of the most one of the most dominant performances we've seen from any team on Villa so far. Today, we've seen Villa play twice, including this one. So, yeah, EG are just seemingly in a league of their own right this minute.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb. Attackers will drop the bomb diffuser. Attackers recover the...
All right.
Okay, so they were going to play Villa against Organized Chaos, but they 2-0'd OC, so...
They play in relegations. I could have sworn.
Saw
Luminosity play it in relegations against
the Challenge League.
Sonics?
In the Challenge League finals, they didn't play it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well... I'm wrong.
It was the playoffs, I guess. Not really the finals, the playoffs. They didn't. So.
I could have sworn I'd seen this team before on Villa. Maybe that's just my brain.
In relegations, maybe. I don't. Let me check.
Maybe it's lying to me. But
let me check.
The key right now for Luminosity is number one, don't throw the drones away as you have been, and start winning some gunfights. A team that is as frag heavy as we see from Luminosity, they need to get something on the board, and there you go. It's a good start. Rexon takes out Neckroks. Neckroks on the roam, and EG just continuously blowing up their composition. Putting Canadian on an anchor. Canadian on a roamer. Young on an anchor. Young on an anchor. Neckroks on anchor, then roaming.
What are you talking about right now?
EG's flexibility right now.
Okay.
And it seems like no matter what site they're going to, EG is bringing something dramatically different. We haven't seen the same lineup, the same composition from EG so far.
Yeah, so it was Sonics in the
Sonics
in the relegations.
My bad.
So yeah, I guess.
Well, we knew this was a good map for EG.
We knew it was a good map for EG. We haven't seen much of it from Luminosity, if at all. I'm sure they played it before, just we haven't seen it a whole lot from them. And right now, while they are using, I'd say, decently, I don't want to say decently efficient. They clearly have plans, and they're executing them, but EG is getting the better of LG at every turn, and it's already beginning here in this round, as the first kill does go, the second kill, pardon me, goes to Evil Geniuses as they equalize. Neckroks dying a little bit early there, of course, but it's not over. Gotcha is going to be allowed to retake top floor, and he's not being watched. Oh, no. He'll drop, but he can do some damage here in the hallway. He'll get one for himself. Going for a second, knows there to be someone there, but he can't land the shot as it's just a retreat from that player. Pixel goes for the entry and takes out Canadian. We do have Tomas on the floor here, so it's a 2 versus 2, and he gets picked up, make that a 2 versus 2 again, as MVK eliminates Pixel going for a wide peek. Thomas on low HP, Gotcha from behind, and Hyena goes down, so it's just Thomas in a 1 versus 2 against it. Stimmed Doc and Gotcha on the flank. 10 seconds left for the push, and he takes out MVK with a headshot. He's going to go for a plant, but there's so little time. And Gotcha has to go for this push. He's getting the info from his teammates. The marks are coming out, but he hesitates. Oh no, and the diffuser goes down. That was a 1 versus 1, and this is very winnable for the Thatcher, but no. Gotcha with the clutch and the flank. Evil Geniuses, 5 rounds in a row.
Just a bit of a correction here. So your information is correct. You can't find a single time that Luminosity has played this map. It was a big shout out to the people behind the scenes, as that, yeah, it doesn't appear that Luminosity has played this. It must have been the Sonics that I had in my mind when I said, oh, we've seen them play Villa before, even prior to today's match. Going back to relegations when your brain gets all like scrambled eggs, you know?
The way I would put it is this. They've obviously played the map in scrims before, but we haven't actually seen them, as far as I know, in any live competition.
Challenger League, no. Pro League, no. You'd have to check the Vegas Minor to see if they played at the Vegas Minor. That's the only thing that I'm
I'll
It's
check.
the only thing I've been able to find.
I mean,
so
that would
far.
maybe.
Which really
Attackers need
speaks
to
to
locate and
where we
defuse
are.
as
Is
many bombs as they
how
can.
do you how do you lose the map ban phase that bad if you've never played Villa? Maybe we've seen this from teams before. Maybe
Attackers have
Luminosity
discovered the
were
location of a
expecting and wanting to go to Villa because they've been practicing it, and you pull it out when teams aren't expecting it.
Maybe.
But I mean, that's a question that we'd have to ask Luminosity. But right now, it certainly would seem like they are not prepared. And yeah, I mean, you can't find the answer either. So the answer is no. At least not that we can find. We cannot find a single time that Luminosity has
Seconds remaining.
played on Villa.
I'm looking. I'm gonna keep looking.
He's crunching the numbers right now. But yeah, I was looking as well while you were casting. And
Attackers are heading out
No.
to defuse a bomb. Attackers
So
dropped the bomb diffuser.
I'm
even
not.
back when they were 92 Dream Team, 92 Dream
Attackers
Team.
have recovered
Yeah, I'm
their
not seeing them having played it at all in the.
So this could very well be
They
the
didn't-
first time ever that Luminosity in an official match of any capacity, Challenger League, Minors, or Pro League, that they've played Villa, and it's a rough ride so far. It's a very rough ride.
against EG no less. So we can't.
I actually foolishly said that Luminosity was going to win this, and well, they win the fight against NVK, who's peeking downstairs, and you'll shut down the Jaeger, who's playing over inside of the pottery / art hall, or whatever you want to call it, depending on who you are.
So yeah, they didn't get it. They didn't get to the playoffs of the minor, and they didn't play it in the stages. So yeah. As far as I know, I can't find any live matches. But who knows? Maybe we're incorrect here. There's always some surprise out there. Anyway, Evil Geniuses going for a very, very deep roam here upstairs. It's going to be Neckroks on the Mozzie instead of Gotcha. Gotcha's been having a really good performance so far, but he's going to be shifted onto Castle. NVK eliminated early here for Luminosity, so this is a good round so far. It was a Jaeger who got taken out early last round, but it was actually Neckroks on the Jaeger, so a little bit of a rotation there.
NEG was still able to hold on. Keep in mind that was a great performance by Gotcha that held them together, and the Valkyrie just went undetected the whole time. We saw him use the second floor to his advantage, vaults on over, and what a shot that is from Gotcha! He's not on Valkyrie this time, but that's a hell of a shot to make, and Thomas was not expecting that one at all.
So just to be really clear, Gotcha is, yes, the coach for Evil Geniuses, and he has, I think it's safe to say he's done a lot for that team. Even from an outside perspective, he seems to be a really good coach. He's also a good player, and I think that's part of what makes him a good coach. Now, is he a really good Pro League player? I'm not sure. I mean, you'd have to see him play in Pro League in a longer term. But is he a, actual somebody who can be competent here? Heck yes, as he comes from behind and takes down Doodle. Looking for another, and he's gonna get it! Pixel goes down, and that's 3 for Gotcha in the round. Rexing gets the diffuser plant, but it looks like Luminosity are trapped in a corner. Will it be 4? Yes! Gotcha with 4, Neckroks with the last, and Evil Geniuses, a flawless half. Oy.
Give him the disable.
There, yeah, he deserves it.
Give him the disable, and then move on in a celebration with the team skin on a coach! A coach, exclaims Troy.
You guys shouldn't be terribly surprised. I'm telling you, Gotcha's a good player.
Who's peeking the coach?
Who's peeking Gotcha?
For multiple months, almost years, we've said, for the All-Star match at a major, please, for the love of God, let the coaches play.
Yeah, I want to see Gotcha versus Dizzle.
A coaches show match, please. And Gotcha, I think, just put his signature on the bottom of that document.
Where is Gotcha?
So
Where's Gotcha and Dizzle? Like, I want even on the same team against each other. I want to see it. Either
I
way.
think against each other.
You think against each other, like team captains on the coach teams? That would be awesome.
Dizzle is a literal god. He is a literal god descended from Mount Olympia.
He's also such a nice guy.
Is it Mount Olympia or Mount Olympus?
Mount Olympus. Is it? Really? I'm pretty sure. Let me.
You go to a not specified branded search engine.
It's in.
Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
What did I say?
It's Olympia. You said Olympia.
My brain literally feels like it's inside of a spin wash right now.
That's... Dude, the spin washes on our washers, too. The spin cycle, it sounds like an aircraft carrier.
So, Gotcha is not only undefeated in Pro League so far, but the man is currently top fragging. His competition is that NVK has 8 kills, 5 of which coming from his ace, but Gotcha picked up a 4K in the previous round and a 3K, was it, in the round before that?
So I just want to stress this again. This is very important. This is not embarrassing for anyone. Gotcha's a good player, man.
Ice in the man's veins, and they've thrown him on Ash. They're giving him the G36C, and they're going to let him go ham on what could be the very final round here, as we are on match point, and it's been a flawless, as you said, a flawless half from EG.
This is the extended understanding that Gotcha is afforded by being the coach for Evil Geniuses, allowing him to just manipulate every situation to his advantage.
I mean, he's not the one calling himself the coach of the people, but right now, he and his team are absolutely bulldozing Luminosity and making me look foolish for saying that I thought that Luminosity was going to win. Anywho, first kill is going to come on to Pixel.
You didn't know
that's also true, I suppose.
Yeah.
NVK finds and takes out Pixel as there's a spray through the wall of Gotcha looking for a target. Won't find it. Canadian's going to drop as well as the Valkyrie of Doodle is doing so much work. And this is another part of why you ban the Pulse, because you know Doodle is exceptionally talented when it comes to controlling these information operators. Oh, it's going to be a drop right onto Gotcha. But he's going to take out Tomas, and it's him and Young in a 2v2 now with Hyena and Rexon left alive. And Rexon is at 50 HP, and it favors the 2 FBI operators for EG. We'll look to find the remaining members of Luminosity. They got half the round to go.
Gotcha just put himself onto 2 digits with that last kill, and at this point he's just building his fame and building his name as the coach for EG. He's got a whole minute to make this work. He knows the Maestro Evil Eye's positions, and he's got no breaching charges to eliminate them, so he's going to have to play this a little bit differently. The exothermic charge is going to come out, and there are no impacts on the side of Luminosity, so no denial here. Evil Eye is not positioned to do just that. Droning coming in for Young. Oh, what a shot from Gotcha! Hyena goes down, and he just needs one more to get a flawless match. It's inside a gun vault, the Jaeger of Rexon, and it's Young to get the final kill. 7 in a row for Evil Geniuses, and a beautiful match.
Now, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist. But Geo smurfing on Gotcha's account, question mark?
Oh, don't start that.
It was Geo all along.
No, but that was quite clearly Gotcha.
A coach, Michael!
A coach! A coach!
Coach!
11 kills for Gotcha.
11, 3, and 3, and Gotcha, alongside EG.
Can he get the interview, please?
I said last week that when it was the LSE Penta match, and I was like, oh, you know, I think Penta's going to win. And then LSE 7-0'd them, and I was like, I look stupid. And then this time I was like, you know what, like Luminosity's playing pretty well. EG, like, Gotcha's subbing in, like, I don't know what Geo's doing, maybe he's sleeping, maybe he's smurfing on Gotcha's account, who knows?
Well, you know,
and I was like, you know what, I think Luminosity's got this one, and wrong answer.
You know what? Not only did Gotcha top frag that match for both teams, but he also top fragged hardcore on that map ban face, because wow, how did we get to Villa? What happened, Luminosity? Where did that come from? By the way, big fact here, that's Luminosity, the only team in North America undefeated, no longer being undefeated. So it's done.
I believe the streak is over.
Yeah, so good job to Gotcha. It feels like he was just pushing that match for a win. not only in the ban
Do they have somewhere to go?
He does.
They're like, we got a meeting.
Yeah. We gotta.
So what time is it in Seattle right
Throw
now?
Gotcha in there, man. We can get to our other stuff. It's important.
Yeah, it was quite the performance, and we have an interview ready.
Yes.
And it's Gotcha. So
Yes.
I'm gonna get to talk to him.
Hey guys.
Congratulations.
Hey,
I'm doing well, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
First question: what did you eat this morning? I would like full diet from start to finish, from the moment you woke up to this point.
I had a Big Mac meal and a smoothie to go with that, and a Pepsi right before a match, as well as some Monster and some water. So that's about it.
That's the breakfast of champions. It sounds like you
Yeah.
just feasted on Luminosity, so I wouldn't be very surprised if you hadn't eaten all that much. Now, first question was something that we were actually actively looking up, was that it didn't appear that Luminosity had played Villa. Were you intending to go there today, knowing that they didn't have a ton of experience on it?
Yeah, we actually thought that they might pick Villa on us. They're one of our actually often scrim partners. So we scrimmed them on Villa, like, I think 3 weeks ago, and we had a terrible showing on it. Like, we totally, like, pooped the bed, didn't know what was going on. And so based on that, I think they thought, hey, we'll take them to Villa. They're super weak on it. Little did they know we did a ton of prep for this match, and we came in strong. Everyone just played out of their minds.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, why did you sub in today? Was Gio asleep? And second question, when you sub in, how much needs to change about the team strats?
Yeah, so Gio's on a family vacation. That's why he was unable to join us today. But in terms of changing strats, actually nothing changes. I was the flex player on DG before coming into EG, so I literally just fill into whatever role they need me to fill in. And I just fill into Gio's role perfectly. And so I used to kind of play that same role myself. And so, we knew that Gio was going to be on vacation for about a week. So with a week of practice, we were able to deliver some strong results today.
Well, you definitely showed up, and it was, as Troy said, a coach. And I feel like I need to apologize because I had picked Luminosity to win, and then I received a not-so-happy DM from him prior to the match. So I hope it provided motivation, and also I'm sorry. But I'll give you the floor, though, if you want to end the interview off talking about anything about the team. Peter got nominated for esports photographer. That's really cool. And, I think you've earned the opportunity to talk with your showing today. Any questions, anything like that you want to say to the fans, or any statements you want to say to the fans, go right ahead.
Yeah, we're just really thankful for all the support and love we get from all of our fans. Just without them, we wouldn't be here today. I know that we lost some matches recently that, in my mind, we shouldn't have lost. We're doing all we can to prep for the U.S. Major and have a strong showing. And there's going to be an announcement soon with some good news. So we'll see how that goes.
Are you replacing somebody on the team, with that showing? That was your audition,
No,
maybe?
I hope I don't ever have to fully replace anybody. We don't plan on making any roster changes or anything of that sort. So.
That's exactly what the kind of guy says when he's about to steal somebody's job. Gotcha. So I'm not spreading anything, but it's something to keep in mind. But it was great to see you again. Congratulations on your victory. Thanks so much for the conversation, and I'm sure we'll see you again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.